Hey everyone, so you have conducted your experiment, you've gotten your results. Now the next step is to write explanation of your results, right? And you're going to write your explanation in the form of a CER, which you should be familiar with now, claim evidence reasoning. This is a little bit of a review on that. Remember, the purpose of your CER is to answer your testable question. So go back and look at what your testable question is because it's going to help you, right? To frame your CER. How does blank affect the rate at which water evaporates? For my example, I did on the data table video, I did altitude. So how does altitude affect the rate at which water evaporates? Your claim, its purpose is to answer your testable question. Okay, so it's one sentence answering your testable question. So my testable question is, how does altitude affect the rate at which water evaporates? My claim is going to be like, when I'm at a higher altitude, water evaporates faster, or whatever your results said, right? Your claim should just be one sentence. It should include both the independent and the dependent variable. So right, so like I think I said, at a higher altitude, independent variable, the water boils faster. That's my dependent variable, right? The time it takes to boil. So include both your IV and your DV, and it states how the IV and DV appear to be related to each other. Okay. Then you're going to get to your evidence. In your evidence is what you can prove, what evidence you have that supports your claim. So whatever your claim was, here's where you give the evidence to support it. This should contain quantitative data, meaning numbers. So in your experiment, you have lots of numbers, whether it's times or temperatures or however you did your experiment. Make sure to include those numbers in there. Like on average, at the altitude of 2,600 meters, the water boiled in 1 minute and 37 seconds. On average, at an altitude of 1,400 meters, the water boiled at 13 minutes, whatever it is, right? Be specific and be boring. This is not the time where you start elaborating about like this happened because the particle is moving faster and science is awesome, isn't it? No. This is boring. You're just like stating your evidence. I think I skipped qualitative data. Qualitative data is like your observation. So like not only did I have this quantitative data proving my claim, but also I have qualitative data that like as I observed during the experiment that the water started boiling faster, right? What did you observe throughout your experiment? Those are your observations. So include both types of evidence in your evidence as part of your CER in order to have a really strong evidence portion. For your reasoning, guys, your reasoning is how you explain how your evidence supports your claim, okay? So how does your evidence support your claim? You should include an explanation of how what we have learned about so far, think about particles, molecules, atoms, thermal energy, kinetic energy, solids, liquids, gases, how what we've learned about so far in class provides an explanation of why you got the results you did, okay? So like based on what I discussed, it makes sense that it's boiling faster at a higher altitude because whatever you think. How do you explain your results? And in this particular CER, I want you to include a model as part of your reasoning. So just like we learned how to model using dots to represent molecules, arrows to represent movement. Remember, the bigger the arrow, the more the particle is moving, the smaller the arrow, the less it's moving. Use a model to show the person reading this explanation, reading the CER, why you think you got the results you did. Why did putting a lid on the pan make it boil slower, or whatever your results were, right? Draw a picture of the pan with the lid, pan without the lid, what's happening to the particles that are causing it to boil faster, right? And obviously, guys, in that model, include labels, make it as clear as possible in that reasoning, okay? If you do all those things, guys, you should be set to have a fantastic claim evidence reasoning that's super clear and explains not only your response to your testable question, but your reasoning for that response. Awesome, guys. Thank you.